Stephen.
Judge, can I tell you a little bit about the case?
Sure.
You know, like, just to explain to you what happened. He was at his business. He owns a trucking company. He hired somebody who he said he took a chance on him because has a sketchy record, convicted felon. It didn't work out within a couple of days, so he ended up firing the individual. The individual refused to leave the premises or refused to accept it. So he started threatening him. He went inside. The individual started trying to damage the trucks. So at that point, he was fearful. He went and retrieved a firearm that he knew was hidden in the vehicle. I'm sorry, in there. I understand, Judge. And
it's about the worst thing that you can do. Imagine if you use the firearm. Who gets charged with murder? Mr. Gracia? Who has now dug themselves into a potential 50-year hole?
The driver was identified as the defendant. Officers noticed the third speech, red, watery, bloodshot eyes, poor balance, and an odor of alcohol in his breath. He advised that he was leaving the Jack in the Box due to a disagreement and that he had been drinking and smoking earlier. They conducted the standard field sobriety tests, 6 of 6 for the HGN, 3 of 8 for the walk and turn.
Hold on, let's look at these numbers. The defendant blew a 0.235 and a 0.239. That is nearly 3 times the legal limit of 0.08. Even worse, the defense mentions he has a prior DWI case still open. When you have 2 open cases for the same dangerous offense, the court views you as an active threat. This is why the judge is about to impose the most severe bond conditions possible.
1 of 4 for the one leg stand. Officers read the DIC. Defendant consented to breath. Levels were 0.235 and 0.239. And then defendant also had a prior DWI arrest out of Tarrant County from 2019. That I don't know that we couldn't determine the disposition of that case.
Is this an open case, Mr. Martinez?
It's still open, Judge.
It's still open.
Yes, this is the first.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there is probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive at all. Do you understand? I'm also now giving you a curfew. You are not allowed to be out past 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not out and about. You have an open DWI and now you've picked up another DWI. I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you also on your other ankle so I know that you're not consuming.
Revoked. The judge makes the bond $150,000 and orders dual ankle monitors, a GPS for location and a SCRAM device for continuous alcohol monitoring. This isn't just punishment. This is the judge actively managing public risk. She states, "I don't care who is kicking and screaming crying. My only concern is public safety." She views this defendant as a confirmed public danger, and this is her non-negotiable solution to stop him from driving again.
Alcohol, one false move. I will deem you a public danger, make your bond $150,000, and I don't care who is kicking and screaming, crying. My only concern is public safety, and you now have 2 open DWIs. I will do everything in my power to protect the public. Do you understand? If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time your happy-go-lucky butt gets into a car and drives. $140 miles an hour. I am done with all of you, and I'm now taking away each of your privileges to drive. And if I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every single time that you drive. Do you understand?
Yes,
I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care where you're going. I don't care if you're hauling baby cats to a damn funeral. What your excuse is. If I find that you drive for any reason, each of you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Each time you drive, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by 6 months in jail, and I can stack it. Do you understand? Mr. Vital, this is your second racing case. I swear to you on everything that's holy, If you get in a car behind the wheel for any reason, there will be HE double hockey sticks to pay.
So in the ensuing time, he has avoided trouble. This is his one and only time having been arrested. He has taken care of his children.
I'm not
range in
going to
age.
reward him for doing things that he should be doing anyways. If you have children, you have to take care of your children. If you have a wife, you have to take care of your wife. I'm not going to reward you for doing things you should be doing anyways. You are charged with a DWI. You're facing a year in jail. You take off for 8 years, and you want me to just a slap on the wrist? Life doesn't work like that. In life, there are consequences. And the consequence is when you fail to do what you're supposed to do, you're looking at potential jail time. And in your case, you're looking at an entire year in jail.
Judge, I've already explained to Rubio, obviously the consequences of her actions. One, in terms of her bond conditions, and two, that there's a supervision order for DWI PTI sitting in front of you. Miss,
I'm seriously at a loss. I mean, I will tell you that for me here, we have a lot of people that come back because of issues that they've had with this program. The number one that probably 90% of the people that come back are the people that have problems while they're on bond, or it takes them forever to get into the program. 90% of those people come back. And here you are. If you think that the way that you've acted on bond is the way that you're going to act in this program, it's not going to happen. Did she test positive?
Yes, for alcohol. Sorry, I did have a glass of wine.
Judge, she's not making any excuses for her behavior. She told me it was a moment of weakness, Judge, and
How many times has she's failed to submit, no show, and now you're testing positive. And you want me to let you into this program? I don't think so. Intoxication assault?
I mean, this is a fairly recent case, Judge, so we don't have any medical records or anything back, but I've been in contact with BCD about potentially.
What's the condition of the complaining witness? Do we know?
What I believe, just from what we have, just from I think the DIMS, is that she has a broken leg and that I know she was transported to Memorial Department, but that's all we have so far.
Mr. Greathouse, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now not to drive at all. You will be signing an affidavit with me, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care if Jesus comes down and needs a ride to church. You drive. And every time you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. In fact, I'm going to send you now for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. Felicia, I'd like to send them now. If you fail to go take a drug test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand? Prior to you leaving now, though, you will be promising me that you're not going to drive for any reason. I am also going to put a scram ankle monitor on your leg so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. If I find that you consume alcohol, and I don't care what the source is, then likewise you will go to jail. Do you know that every single day?
The judge repeatedly brings up this sickening statistic. Every single day in Houston and Harris County, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. This isn't just background noise. It's the core of the judge's philosophy. It explains the extreme bond amounts, the mandatory scram devices, and the severe contempt warnings. The judge is using her bench to combat a public health and safety crisis, and every decision is viewed through the lens of preventing the next fatality.
In Houston, in Harris County, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. Every single day, someone dies in our county because of alcohol. It is a sick, a disgustingly sick and sobering statistic. Every day, someone dies. Any priority to be eyes?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fontenot, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You're not allowed to drive for the foreseeable future. Do you understand? And I would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. If I find that you consume alcohol, if I find that you use illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. And I don't care if Jesus needs a ride to church. You get into a car and drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said Treadwell, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
15.
You are on bond for DWI, and now you've picked up another DWI. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. On October 23rd, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a major one-car vehicle accident in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with a witness who observed the motor vehicle had left the scene, but was still blocking a moving lane of traffic and had struck a school zone signpost. The officer also observed the defendant's motor vehicle had crashed in the direction moving against the flow of traffic, and the witness identified the defendant as the driver. EMS saw the defendant in the driver's seat of the crashed vehicle with her feet sticking out and the engine still running. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and unsteady balance on the defendant's person, along with a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and general disorientation and slow responses. When asked about the accident, the defendant stated she may have fallen asleep, but did not remember the crash occurring. The defendant admitted to drinking and consuming Adderall, and she said that she was the sole occupant and operator of the motor vehicle. The officers recovered 2 open alcoholic beverage containers from the passenger side floorboard.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Your Honor. And 4 unopened containers. Standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, and 1 leg stand 3 out of 4. A blood warrant was drafted and executed.
And Judge, on the first DWI, the lab results came back as 0.286.
0.026.
0.206, because there's a big difference. Is it 0.26?
Yes, 0.286. Yes, Judge. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's going into custody. The judge revokes the bond and reiterates the contempt warning. I don't care if Jesus comes down and tells you he needs a ride to church. The language is intense, but the intent is to create an absolute, unforgettable boundary. The court is saying that the risk to public safety outweighs her right to pretrial freedom, especially when she has proven she cannot follow simple conditions.
That is a very high blood test. Can you run an NCIC? I'd like to know what other kind of criminal history she has, number one. Number two, did we have her sign a no driving affidavit on the first one? Because if she did, I'm going to have a contempt hearing.
I don't see a no driving affidavit on file, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, her driver's license wasn't eligible though on the second DWI.
Probably because of the first and the ALR. Mr. Treadwell, I want you to be perfectly clear about something. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the citizens of Harris County. Every single day, someone dies because of a DWI in Harris County. And I will do everything in my power to protect my city. And if that means putting you in custody because you repeatedly flaunt our bond conditions, so be it.
This is a wild defense. Mr. Brothers is claiming his positive scram test, which showed alcohol levels equivalent to a 0.08 intoxication, was caused by makeup and sweat, not drinking. He claims he was doing cosplay for TikTok. The judge's immediate, blunt refusal is understandable. This is an extraordinary, almost unbelievable excuse for a serious bond violation. What's the most unusual excuse you've ever heard in a courtroom? Let us know.
Now I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm taking you in. And now, if you do get out, you will have a strict curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm forbidding you from going within a car at all. You will now be signing an affidavit, and if I find that you drive, and I don't care what your reason is, I don't care if Jesus comes down and tells you he needs to ride to church, you get into a car and drive, I will have a contempt hearing. Every time you get into a car, it's up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. On one ankle, you will get a GPS monitor. On your other ankle, you're going to get a scram device, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. As it stands now, I'm revoking your bonds and I'm putting them both at $25,000. Do you understand? She goes with you.
Officers conducted standard field sobriety test, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, and one leg stand 3 out of 4. An inventory search of the vehicle revealed 5 empty 32-ounce Corona bottles, one 32-ounce Corona bottle with 1 ounce.
Corona, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, fair.
Go a little bit slower, huh?
Thank you, sir.
An inventory search of the vehicle revealed 5 empty 32-ounce Corona bottles, one 32-ounce Corona bottle with 1 ounce of fluid in the bottle, and one empty 24-ounce Modelo.
Drinking while driving?
DIC was read and defendant consented to correct. The results were 0.174 and 0.173.
Mr. Hernandez Ramos, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
I'm a resident.
I don't know if you are or not. And quite frankly, I don't care. But one thing I want you to understand is if there is any problem with your immigration paperwork whatsoever, and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in jail until this case is over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months. I hope that you would recognize it's damn elementary for you not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. You now, I am barring you from driving whatsoever. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. And I don't care what is going on in your life. If I find that you drive in violation of this affidavit, I can have a hearing to hold you in contempt, slap you with up to 180 days every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes.
You cannot give any justification at all for getting into a car and driving, and there will be a very hefty toll. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs or unprescribed controlled medication, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. And like I said, any issues with your immigration whatsoever, you will be with me for a long time.
It took place at approximately 2 in the morning. And one moment I can see if there's any alcohol involved.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't see any, Your Honor.
Let me ask you this. What kind of priors?
Your Honor, he has previous, well, actually, I believe he still has open cases in Galveston at 2024 with unknown dispositions, a DWI, collision causing damage to a motor vehicle, and a UCW out of Galveston.
Just 3 open cases in Galveston?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Haddad, did you see this? We're talking about Mr. Hodges here.
Mr. Hodges, Judge, for me, check.
He has an open DWI, UCW, and perhaps something else. Also, Alex, if you can run a license as well.
So pending, yeah, okay. Yeah, just checking the TCIC, it looks like they're 3 pending cases open.
What's the third one besides GWI, UCW? What was the other one?
Collision involving damage to a vehicle, approximately $200.
I'm taking off.
It looks like it is their Galveston's version of an FSGI. It's just called.
Now we have another one.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Hodges. I take public safety extremely serious. And if I find that you become a danger to my public here in Harris County, I'm telling you now, I'm going to light you up. Do you understand? I am taking away your privilege to drive. And you will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I am also giving you a curfew so that you are not out in the middle of the night. The other thing is this, is that you have 3 open cases in Galveston. It's only a matter of time before they learn about them. And when they do, they're going to revoke all of those bonds and issue 3 warrants for your arrest. What's wrong with your leg, Mr. Thomas?
I was in a car accident.
That's why he has to go to the doctor 3 times a week at this point, and he can be able to go to jail.
You driving the car in the accident?
Yes,
He was rear-ended.
I don't think he's supposed to be driving. You're not supposed to be driving. We're in the car accident.
at the paper saying that my license was valid.
You signed an affidavit promising me not to drive. Now you're driving. Now you get into a car accident. Did you have a breath test device in your
Yes.
car?
Yes. I had the portable.
No. Anytime you were to drive, you're supposed to have an interlock in your car. He is driving and he's not supposed to be driving, and he doesn't even have an interlock in the car.
I said the court had.
You're supposed to have an interlock in a car, Mr. Thomas. I'm taking you into custody today. The other thing that I'm going to do, Mr. Thomas, is that you will now be required to pay the $6,500 fee to DPS. And if you fail to pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit in jail. $100. You're now going, how much are court costs in this case? From now on, you are not my problem anymore. This DWI is going to go on your record. This now makes 2. What happens on your next one? 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. Apparently, everything that we've done with you here was not enough to get your attention. I ordered you not to drive any vehicle that didn't have an interlock. I had you sign an affidavit promising me not to drive until you had court approval and you had an interlock in your car. And you drove, you are now in an accident. You are lucky that I'm going to even follow this deal. But as a part of this deal, I want you to understand you will now be required to pay all fines, fees, court costs associated with this case. And like I said, if you fail to pay even 1 iota, every $100 that you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. You are now going to owe to the tune of around $7,000. And if you fail to pay it, every $100 is a day in jail. So you can now calculate how much you will sit in custody if you fail to pay this fee.
The defendant
El
admitted to
acusado
drinking,
admitió de que
and
había
an
tomado,
inventory
y
of
cuando
the
hicieron el
vehicle
inventario del vehículo,
yielded several
vieron de
open,
que
cold to the
varios
touch beer cans,
Drinking while driving,
siendo y tomando,
most of which were mostly
cuando
empty.
la mayor parte estaban vacíos.
SFSTs
La
were conducted,
FST se hicieron
6 out of 6
6 de 6 del
HGN,
HGN,
plus vertical gaze
también el
nystagmus,
nystagmus vertical,
and 3 out of 4
y
one-leg
3
stand.
de 4 de pararse en una sola pierna.
The defendant
El
failed to perform the
acusado
walk and turn
no pudo
because he
hacer el
failed to
caminar y
follow
voltear porque no
instructions.
siguió las instrucciones.
DICs were
El
read but
DSS se le
refused,
leyó,
and a
se
warrant was
negó,
signed and
entonces se
executed.
firmó una
He
orden y
has
se
no driver's license,
hizo.
judge, and
No
no
tenía
prior criminal
licencia ni
history.
tampoco tenía ningún antecedentes.
I would hope
No,
that you recognize it's elementary that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you are driving, Mr. Tayun.
Señor Tayun.
Do you have a Texas driver's license? Look at me,
Míreme, no,
not
a usted
allowed
no
to
se le
drive.
permite conducir.
What is your immigration status? Are you a United States citizen?
¿Es ciudadano americano?
No.
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
without.
What happens if you go to jail?
I don't know, I believe they'll return me to my country.
Right.
Cierto.
You will sit
Usted va
in jail
a la cárcel.
waiting for this case to be over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration.
Lo mandan con
But you will
migración.
sit in immigration custody for about 6 to 9 months, waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you now, the incoming president is not very sympathetic
Ese no es muy
with people
simpático.
who are in immigration custody.
Ya.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende? Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, was he allowed to be at the house that he went to?
Not according to his bond.
I had nowhere to go. It's hot.
So what? Everybody else in Houston still doesn't have power. 1 million people still don't have power. Still, to this very moment. And they're dealing with it. I don't want you driving, Mr. Reyes. I'm making it the condition of your bond that you are not to drive. Do you understand me? You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? This is an affidavit that you're promising me. And I don't care if Jesus comes down and needs to ride to church. We will have issues if you get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge, it was September 20th.
She was released on when, the 21st?
The 23rd. 23rd is when she was released. She was
Released the 23rd. She was supposed to register immediately, starting the IOP. And what day did she register?
Yesterday.
Says her probation officer told her she had a month.
I told you here what you were supposed to do. I'm tired of playing this game, Andrea.
At least
I'm
she's
tired of
registered.
playing. It's
Mr.
like,
Sapiens?
you know, when this is what happens when you're too nice. It's over and over. People take advantage of you like crazy. It took 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks for her to sign up for IOP, Andrea. 4 weeks. Since 2021, you and I have been dancing. You've picked up an attempted possession of a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, failure to ID, resisting arrest, failure to ID, failure to ID, failure to ID, evading arrest, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, possession of a controlled substance, failure to ID, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, and another criminal trespass. On all of those, except the last 2, every single time you have done time served. And I told you on the last two, before you picked it up and we let you go, I said, Mr. Ariola, if you pick up another case, we are done with catch and release. We will now do everything in our power to ensure that the trespasses and the failure to IDs and the thefts and the assault stop. And we would do that by doing the dual diagnosis residential program. And I told you that we would continue to do it over and over and over until it stops. You know what's going to happen every time you wear orange in Harris County. That's it. I have given you PR bond after PR bond to the tune of probably 12 PR bonds. And every single time we've given you a PR bond, you never show up. No more catch and release. You now stand charged with another DWI. You're also charged with failure to, evading arrest in a motor vehicle. On that one, you're facing up to 10 years in prison, a minimum of 2 years, a maximum of 10 years in prison. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The officers observed the defendant engage in a race with another car on a road in Harris County, Texas. The officer attempted to catch up to the vehicles and was unable to catch up to the other driver. However, the officer caught up to the defendant's vehicle and attempted to initiate a traffic stop by activating lights and sirens. The defendant failed to stop and engaged officers in a 13-mile pursuit. When officers made contact, they observed the defendant step out of the driver's side of the vehicle, and the officers observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, red glassy eyes, and unsteadiness. The defendant admitted to drinking a bottle of wine and taking a Zoloft. During search of the vehicle, the officers found an empty bottle of wine and a Sonic cup that contained a liquid smelling of alcohol.
Alcohol in the car?
Yes, Judge. And the defendant refused standard field sobriety test. DIC was read, and the defendant refused breath. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
So she also said the defendant had no contact with the complaining witness since right after he got out of jail the first time. So it seems like she's going back and forth on the situation.
So we approached first, and then you asked Logan to go out and call for clarification. So when he went out and called for clarification, he came back in and he said that she told him that that Trish was not there whenever he came over, and that he has not had contact with Trish since he got out of jail. So, and Logan emailed that to me to show me what it is that went on in that conversation. So that's the notes that I have, is that the daughter said no contact.
All I have here is a bunch of he said, she said, right? But the fact remains is that you're still going over there because it's on your GPS monitor. And you went the day before the hurricane.
Sir.
You're not supposed to go there.
Oh, it was the day of the hurricane. Yes, sir.
That was the day before.
No, the day before was on the 7th. At least that's what they're saying. That's on the GPS device.
That hurricane came that night.
You were not supposed to go over there.
I just went and picked up a generator. Nobody else can do it. And I had grandkids there.
You're not supposed to go over there. No means no. No doesn't mean I have a generator. I've got the tooth fairies going over there to pick up a damn tooth so I can give it to Cynthia.
It was a positive urinalysis test, and because of that, we amended the.
And because of that, I amended the conditions. I did not put him in jail. I put the scram on him.
Yeah, but we addressed that he didn't go in and
I got it.
It's not two tests, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You're right.
But he's continuing to consume. Stephen.
The scram reports are also in your email. I'm not sure if you picked them, but we got the notes of the records as well for all of those dates.
Have you seen that?
I have whatever I was sent yesterday.
That's it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bros. What am I supposed to do? Just let you go again?
No, sir, I'm not asking to, and I did not consume any alcohol. It was just yes, sir. The products that I put on, and I just was not aware that that was set off that. And it was makeup, sir. That's all it was. I didn't consume an alcohol beverage at all.
That party is 10:31 and I have here 10:26, 10:30, and it's you're telling me that you put this makeup on November 9th? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, sir. It's for my TikTok, and I have the videos of it also, sir. I do cosplay, and I just put on those products, and that was the sweat from it. I had no idea that that would actually get inside my blood system and and set that off.
You have levels?
Yes, they're in the scrim report.
What is it?
I have
A peak of 0.08, and then.
He's a 0.08.
Yeah.
You're telling me that makeup made you a 0.08?
Yes, sir. And those are the days I was at work.
I don't believe it for a second.
I even had.
I don't believe it for a second. I'm sorry. A
I understand.
0.08 because of makeup?
Yes, sir. I understand. I promise you I have not consumed alcohol at all.
I'm sorry, dude.
I understand.
That's it.
Yes, sir. I understand.
With you?
I understand. Yes, sir.
And possibly believe that makeup is going to make you as intoxicated as having 6 to 8 drinks.